we can see the 7 is in our tens column, hence it's 70. One decimal place, meaning I only want one digit after decimal. So find the first digit after decimal. As I'm around to one decimal place, I now stop. Draw a line to the right, that's called my decider. If the decider is 5 or more, which in this case it is, we round the previous digit up by 1. So 4.5 will round to 4.6. When multiplying by 100, all we can do is simply move the decimal 2 places to the right. Hence my answer will be 3,170. To simplify a fraction, we want to find a number that divides both the top and the bottom without giving a remainder. In this case, 28 and 70, they're both divisible by 7. So I'm going to start by dividing the top and the bottom of my fraction by 7. On the top, I know 28 divided by 7 gives us 4. And the bottom, 70 divided by 7 gives us 10. Again, check whether it can be simplified further. Well, here, I know that top and bottom, they're both even. So they're both divisible by 2. So I'm going to start now by dividing top and bottom by 2. 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. And 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. We know percent means out of 100. Hence, when converting a percentage to a decimal, we simply divide by 100. When dividing by 100, I can just move the decimal in 2 places to the left. It is 0.15 as a decimal. When dealing with a pictogram, we should always look at the key. We know one square here represents 8 pictures. Write down the number of pictures sold in January. So looking at our row for January, each square represents 8. So therefore, I'm going to have 8, add 8, add 8, which will give us 24. 12 pictures were sold in April. Show this information on the pictogram. Well, I know one full square represents 8. So for April, I'm going to have one full square, that's 8. And as I know 12 was sold, an extra 4. Well, 4 is half of 8, so I need half a square. What was the total number of pictures sold in each of these 4 months? As I want the total, I want to add up my January, February, March, and April. Well, for January, worked out there's 24 were sold. For February, again, each square represents 8. So we're going to have 8 plus 8 plus 8. And again, half a square, half of 8 would be 4. So 8 add 8 is 16, add 8 is 24, add 8 will give us 28. For March, again, each square represents 8. So we're going to have 8 plus 8, and again, half a square will be half of 8, which is 4. 8 add 8 is 16, add 4 gives us 20. And for April, we know there was 12 sold. Adding up, so I'm going to have 24 plus 28 plus 20 plus 12. Always starting on our right, our ones column. 4 add 8 is 12. Add 0 is still 12. Add 2 gives us 14. So 4 down, carry the 1. 2 add 2 is 4. Add 2 is 6. Add 1 is 7. Add the 1 I carried gives us 8. So 84 pictures were sold in the 4 months. Work out the difference in minutes between 1 hour 25 minutes and 1¼ hours. Well, I know a quarter of an hour is 15 minutes. Because a quarter of an hour, there's 60 minutes in an hour. So it'd be a quarter multiplied by 60. When calculating a fraction amount, we simply divide by the bottom. Well, 60 divided by 4 gives you 15. And 15 times 1 gives us 15. So there's 15 minutes in a quarter of an hour. Hence, I've got 1 hour, 25 minutes. Difference means I'm subtracting. Subtract 1¼ hours. Therefore, will be 1 hour and 15 minutes. And 1 hour 25 minutes, subtract 1 hour 50 minutes, will give us 10 minutes. Pressure has 5 blocks of wood. The total weight of all 5 blocks of wood is 3 kilograms. 4 of the blocks of wood each have a weight of 650 grams. Work out the weight in grams of the other block of wood. As I'm dealing in different units, I'm going to convert kilograms into grams. I know 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, hence 3 kilograms, therefore will be 3,000 grams. As I'm told 4 of the blocks each have a weight of 650 grams. Therefore, I'm going to do 650 multiplied by 4 to work out the total weight of the 4 blocks. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. So 0 down, carry the 2. And 4 times 6 is 24. Add the 2 I carry gives us 26. As I want to work out the weight of the other block of wood, I'm going to do the total weight of all 5. In this case, 3,000. Subtract the weight of the 4 blocks, which is in this case is 2,600. Always starting on the right. Well, 0 takes 0 is 0. 0 takes 0 is 0. I can't take 6 from 0, so I borrow from its neighbour. So 3 dots to 2, carry the 1. 10 subtract 6 gives us 4. And 2 subtracts 2 gives us 0. Hence, the block of wood was 400 grams. PQR is a straight line. Work out the size of angle X. We should know angles on a straight line always add up to 180 degrees. If you forget, look at a protractor. You can see a protractor is the same as a straight line. It goes from 0 to 180 degrees. So therefore, adding those three angles, it must add up to 180 degrees. As I want to work out x, adding up the two angles I know, in this case I'm going to do 100 plus 35. And that will come to 135. And as I know in total it up to 180, to work out the missing angle x, I'm now going to do 180, subtract the sum of the two, in this case subtract 135. Starting on the right, I can't take 5 from 0, so I'll borrow from its neighbour. 8 drops to 7 and carry the 1. 10 subtract 5 gives us 5. 7 subtract 3 gives us 4. And 1 subtract 1 gives us 0. So the missing angle x is 45 degrees. Plot the point with coordinates 3, 2. Label this point A. Well, we know a coordinate is always given as x, y. We always go along the corridor and then up or down the stairs. So x, we go positive 3 in the x direction, and y, we're going to go positive 2 up. So 3 up 2, put a cross and label that point A. Write down the coordinates of the midpoint of BC. Well, the midpoint is what's in the middle. So looking at our line, BC, I can see here in the middle, there's our midpoint. As we want as a coordinate, we know a coordinate is always x, y. Hence, in the x, it's gone -1 in the x, and it's gone nowhere in the y. Hence, it's -1, 0.